connecting you. This is Iowa's News Now at 5.
More Republicans in Congress and voters call for more transparency from the Trump administration on the Epstein files. I'm Matt Gelka in Washington, and all the latest coming up.
The White House says President Trump is in, quote, excellent health, but they also announced the president is dealing with a health issue that his doctors say is common in older people. This comes as the president is on the verge of a win in Congress that will claw back billions of dollars in spending. Erica Brown reports.
The White House press secretary used Thursday's briefing to give an update on the president's health.
In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit.
Caroline Levitt read a doctor's letter saying tests showed no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease, but that Trump has blood pooling in his veins common in older people. Doctors attributed bruising people have noticed on the president's hands to aspirin therapy.
Frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy.
The president has been talking with Republican lawmakers about the future of Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
He's unlikely to fire the chairman, but he has substantial concerns with regard to how he's managed the Fed.
And now the White House says it wants to know why renovation costs for the Federal Reserve building are higher than projected.
Overnight, the Senate narrowly passed a bill that cuts $9 billion in funds that were previously approved by Congress.
It's been 35 years, essentially, since we've done a rescission. So $9 billion or $90 billion, as we think about 10-year windows, I think is pretty meaningful.
The cuts include $1.1 billion in funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds NPR and PBS, as well as roughly $8 billion in foreign aid.
The consequences of these recessions will prove to be devastating here and across the globe.
The measure is back in the hands of the House with a vote expected this evening. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The White House has until midnight Friday to pass the rescissions package. If it misses the deadline, then according to the 1974 budget law, the money must be unfrozen and spent as originally directed by Congress. Now let's get things over to Grayson. On my way into work today, I was pleasantly surprised by how cool it felt out there.
Yeah, and to be honest, I even wore a hoodie today when I was out running errands, and it kind of had that crisp fall feeling in the air. I don't want to rush the summer away and talk about fall, but that was kind of our weather headline for today was the temperatures, and we had that lower humidity too. It was a little bit of a cloudy day, and because of that, temperatures just really weren't able to rise all that much. Here's a look at where we're sitting right now in the upper 60s and lower 70s across eastern Iowa. And as we head through this evening, we'll have a few more kind of patchy the sun kind of break through the clouds a little bit, but the clouds will stick with us as we head through the overnight hours. Temperatures will fall to around 60 degrees. We'll stay dry as we head through your day on Friday, but we'll have a little bit more of an active pattern setting up by Friday night through the weekend and into next week with daily rain and storm chances. We'll talk more details about that and time it out for you coming up in your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Authorities recover a stolen car submerged in the Iowa River. It happened near I-380 by North Liberty this morning. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office says the car did not have anyone inside and there's no search underway. The car was reported stolen last night and Iowa City Police are now investigating. Police arrest two people after a shots fired call turns into a brief standoff in Waterloo Wednesday. 20-year-old Demarion Ambrose faces several charges, including assault while displaying a weapon and going armed with intent. A 17-year-old was also arrested and faces similar charges. Police say a witness heard about 6 pops and a car speeding away near Close Street and Summit Avenue. They found over a dozen shell casings in 2 different locations. One house was hit, but no one was hurt. Police say anyone with information should call Waterloo Police or Cedar Valley Crime Stoppers. More Republicans in Congress and voters believe the Trump administration has handled the Jeffrey Epstein case poorly. As Iowa's News Now correspondent Matt Gelka reports, not many appear to be listening to the president's repeated pleas to forget about Epstein and move on.
The Trump administration's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case and failure to deliver on long-promised new findings on the sex trafficker's alleged list of names became a national punchline at the ESPY Awards.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
Hours after lashing out at members of his base demanding more transparency on the case by calling them weaklings and saying he didn't want their support, the president doubled down Wednesday night.
This Jeffrey Epstein hoax also, because that's the same stuff. That's all put out by Democrats.
Yeah.
And, some of the naive Republicans fall right into line like they always do.
The hoax claim was mocked by former Trump ally Elon Musk in a barrage of tweets, including saying the president should just release the files and point out which part is the hoax. MAGA hardliner Laura Loomer told Politico the scandal could consume Trump's presidency. And a new Quinnipiac poll taken in the past week showed 63% of voters disapproved of how the administration has handled the Epstein files. Broken down by party, 83% of Democrats, 71% of independents, and 40% of Republicans signaled their disapproval. Republicans in Congress have been more vocal about the issue, with some calling for a special counsel, while others plainly say the administration needs to put everything out there.
This is kind of highlighting the frustration that the American people have, where they feel like their government they can't trust their government.
The White House hasn't been able to tamp down the document drama quite yet.
He doesn't like to see Democrats and the mainstream media covering this like it's the biggest story that the American people care about.
Potentially adding more fuel to the fire, Maureen Comey, the Manhattan federal prosecutor who worked on the Epstein case and daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, was abruptly fired this week by the Southern District of New York. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Gelke.
The Justice Department is requesting a one-day prison sentence for the former Louisville police officer convicted in connection to Briana Taylor's death. But in a court filing Wednesday, the Justice Department argued that Hankerson did not shoot Taylor and is not responsible for her death. A federal jury last November found Hankerson guilty of violating the civil rights of Briana Taylor, who was gunned down during a botched police raid in 2020. Lawyers for Taylor's family say the recommendation betrays the jury's decision. A sentencing hearing is set for July 22nd.
It is a product taken from your own body, often referred to as liquid gold. I'm Liz Bonus. Why it may be the secret to eternal youth, we explain just ahead.